and have him get some ideas.
Yeah, I just fixed my phone. That card came out. I started talking to him a little bit. And I told him about my marriage and the man. And then I told him my one-eyed Willie joke. And he looked at me, just smiled. I said, "You guys are all in there about hockey?" He said, "Did you see that, guy's dogs over there?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "What do you think about that?" At first I thought they were, being abused because their heads sticking out. And they got a hole this big. And it's kind of like they just, "Well, pat me, love me, show me some attention." Just spoiled rotten dogs that want to go out and play. He thought that was really funny.
Lots of people have asked these questions, putting them in this complicated spot. But this time, in front of all those people, and ended with a room full of strangers cheering for Max. This time, it's their favorite.
I think the weather people blew it when they said 3 to 6 inches.
The weather people what?
Blew it when they said 3 to 6 inches.
And the personal question, it's a minute.
And I bet you if you go there and pet them dogs, there's going to be dog slobber everywhere.
A community building out of necessity with everything Black Denverites needed to thrive, like doctors and teachers, and what they needed to truly survive a racially divided United States.
This particular neighborhood offers them that opportunity.
This week on Real Talk with Denver 7 and CPR News, how Five Points continues to be both a beacon of hope and...
Once I get a couple of videos that I run through, I can get the rest to go. I'll just put them through trash and get some more time back, and then it starts working. It was a while before I figured that out.
It's that easy to donate your car at cpr.org/support.
Stupid. Cooking fat meat, that's Italian sausage and some of those little short pizza things and everything else. I just started cooking it. When we go back in, I'll put it back in the oven and cook it. With some of those rolled tacos. That'll be pretty good. I'll throw some cheese on it if I can find some more. I know we have it somewhere. Get buried in the freezer inside.
My mother is leaving me a massive depression. Because I'm reading these words on the radio, I can't hear your response. But I'm listening for the question that, as I've learned, always comes. Everyone, almost without exception, responds with some version of the same question. Does she recognize you?
Where are we headed?
There are variants, of
Go to a
course.
liquor store.
Does
Where?
she still know who you are?
Liquor store. Get some beer.
But does she still know your name?
I got a
However
credit
it may
card.
be phrased, the question is always whether my mother recognizes me. Meaning, can she recite the facts of who I am, what my name is, and how I'm related to her? When everyone keeps asking me, does she recognize you? I find myself thinking, that is the wrong question. I believe the question really is, or should be, do we recognize her as a person who's still here?
This is the stupidest show I've ever heard.
Does she recognize you? To
Yeah,
realize
this
the
American
question
life is kind
becomes
of
more obvious.
hit and miss. Sometimes it's pretty good, but most of the time it's pretty good, and sometimes it's
Let's
just
say I
plain.
ask my mother, what's my name? Who am I? How old am I?
these two
Every
better
time
seated
she would visit
teeth
her,
sort of.
she'd take framed photos
didn't
from the
get sick.
classroom and point to them and quiz her. You know what this is, don't you know? Of course she didn't. Lisa writes, so I told her again and again, each visit, who was who, and then quizzed again. Thinking back on this letter, I'm appalled at my insensitivity. What did I think I was doing? I managed to accomplish only two things. I made myself miserable, and made my mother irritable. I don't need my mother to tell me my name, or how I'm related to her. I already know these things, and I know that she has dementia. So why then would I make a point of asking her these questions that I know she can't possibly answer? It seems rude, or just mean. I can't bring myself to do it. I guess you could say that my mother raised me better.
Yeah, I'll say that. It's a compound answer for the compound.
I'm not so convinced that the inability to remember names necessarily means that a person with dementia can't recognize or care about other people. But very often, it does mean that other people stop recognizing and caring about them. My mother was close to lots of people, but only one friend remains present in her life. Every month or two, Eli Davis drives an hour and a half from her home to Seattle to visit me, bringing treats and hugs and her always cheerful self. I love her dearly for it. And I wonder, where are the others? Where are the couples with whom my parents socialized? The women with whom mom spent hours and hours on the phone before my childhood?
Been there,
This
done
shouldn't
that.
surprise me as much as it
Or this
does.
guy's calling these motels to see
Maybe
who's got a
it's
room.
not fair to expect friends to step up, even close family drop off.
He's like, oh, there's a bunch right here.
Friendships in America are not
Where do I
usually
park at?
expected to survive.
Actually, that big tanker truck
Friendships
goes
are
through town
often
every
more
day
like
from the same
pleasure
walk.
drives than life drives, not built to brave the really rough waters. Does she recognize you? When people ask me whether my mother still recognizes me, they're often expressing concern for me, asking me how I'm bearing up on the burden of suffering that my dementia must place on me. And they're quite ready to hear about my burdens and my suffering. What they find harder to hear, I think, is that being around my mother is not a
know, I saw that.
The ghetto.
It's not like any of that. Here's what it is. In a cafe, as we share a scone, Mom and I make what passes for conversation. I've learned to ask only the sort of question that doesn't require
Going
any
to the car
specific
wash.
information to answer. So, things going okay?
Subway,
these
isn't
days?
it right behind,
How's my favorite mom doing? You doing all right?
coming in?
I tell her funny little stories about my kids. Sometimes we leaf through a magazine, looking at pictures and commenting on them. Sometimes we look out the window and I make general observations that require no specific response. Looks like spring is coming. Look at those leaves coming out of the trees. That guy's hair is really curly.